Hello everyone and welcome back to Sunsaw Gaming. Alright, so we've got 4 matches for you today. And they're all low tier matches, but they are taking up space on my phone and I do need to get these ones out there. So without further ado, we're going to jump into these matches. Just don't forget to hit that subscribe button down there. I am aiming for 500 subs, and when I get there, I will be doing another cash prize giveaway for your Google Play vouchers or your iStore cards, So hit that sub button, hit those like buttons. Let's get this channel going, and without any further delay, straight into the mastery matches. Now we are going to start off with the oldest of the masteries in my folder, and that is this one, the VK 30.01P, the tier 6 medium tank. Now this match here just goes to show exactly how fickle RNG can be. I mean, you guys are going to start watching this and you're going to be like, oh, there's no way this can be a mastery. But I assure you, this ends up being a mastery. No, my team, I mean, just look at what they do on the minimap. I'm not even sure what they were up to. But there's no way we should have won this, the way it was going. But it does show the value of patience and definitely keeping a cool head. Like, if I had gotten flustered in this position, well, not this current position, but the next one that I go to, I probably would not have done so well. So keeping a cool head helped me get this mastery. Staying in the game, staying focused, and just keeping an eye on what the enemy are doing, and praying that RNG picks up for me. So just making sure that none of these guys are going to shoot me as a pop over there. I wanted to make sure I could pull back, so I stopped on that hill. Nothing there, nothing to shoot at. So I'm pulling up. I'm going to take this position back here. We can clearly see there's Magnus here, so the rest of the enemy team is probably in this position as well. And as you can see, there's at least 3 of them here at this point. Now, I clipped the rock on that one. That is the start of my bad RNG for this match. And it doesn't get any better anytime soon. Now you can see we do have this player 87977 who has pulled up very, very close, which isn't going to be very good for him, although he does hold out for a long time. Now again, I hit that VK in his weak spot and it bounced. RNG still robbing me. And we're going to do the same here. We're going to shoot this guy in the side of the turret, and oh, there's a bounce. So at this point, I mean, I have done very little except for waste ammunition. Again, hit that guy's hatch, his cupola on top. RNG says, nah, not today, buddy. So I mean, this is not looking very good. And it's with that Magnus right there that we finally break the chain. We finally managed to get a good shot off. And this STRV, hats off to you, mate. You played a very good game up there. You were giving me so much trouble. I gotta recognize, the effort you put in to help me, well, to hold me back, basically. These 2 guys in front of me here, they're just getting picked to pieces. And that doesn't bode well for me. As you can see, the rest of my team is very, very, very spread out. Just watch. I mean, we're gonna start farming the damage now. Now that RNG has finally decided I've survived for long enough, I've kept a cool head long enough, I haven't made any real big mistakes, so RNG finally gets on my side. I finally start getting the damage out here. And I mean, there's 4 tanks currently sitting up here, which leaves 2 tanks unaccounted for, which, as you can see by the minimap, they are in the middle. Both of my heavies are dealing with the tank destroyer in the center there, and my medium tank, who is behind me, I think is trying to snipe shots across into these 4 tanks that we're battling with. Now, we have cleared out quite a few. There's already 3 dead tanks down there of the enemy tanks, and well, this T-34 just made a big mistake by trying to pull out and get the one-shot kill. I set him on fire. Great for my damage count, great for my teammate who was a one-shot. Again, taking shells from this STRV, even under pressure, this guy didn't run away. Now, kudos to him for that. I mean, at this point now, he should be running. And I'm just trying to decide which way I'm going to go. Now, my teammate here will get cleared out in a second, and I'm going to try and get some shots into the side of this VK. He is now the last standing enemy tank on the team. Out of nowhere, right? I mean, we were struggling not too long ago, and now there is no enemies. Which, I mean, works in my favour. I get some very good damage in here, and just farmed off this VK. He has killed my other teammate, who was a one-shot, which, unfortunate for my teammate, but hey, works out in my favour. And this shot here, I just completely fluff it. I missed the bounce of my turret, and just completely fluffed it. There's no words for that. That wasn't RNG, that was bad shooting on my part. But we're currently at 2,722 damage, and the last final bit of it there comes in to take me just below 3,000 damage with 1,300 blocked in a medium tank. So that's our first mastery of the day, and just showing you, even if RNG is not favouring you, just stick to your guns, alright? Don't get all flustered and angry that your shots aren't hitting. Just stick at it, keep trying, and RNG will turn in your favour, as it did for me in this match. So, with that, we're going to hop into the next match here. So, for our second Ace Mastery, we have Deja Vu here. And he's driving the Triumphant. Now, this tank is one of the recent Battle Pass tanks, and, you know, nobody was too excited about it, but this tank actually has a very interesting feature that none of the other tanks of this type have. Now, you've got the T-34-85 and all of those other sorts of tanks that perform relatively the same way. This one is a bit of a superhero though. That cape that it's got is spaced armor. But on top of that, the badge of wargaming that it holds at the front is impenetrable. You can shoot that with as many bullets as you want, but if you hit it, you're gonna bounce. And that's just what makes this tank so much different to the other ones. Now, if you're looking at the minimap here, you can see two of Deja Vu's team have gone up to A, another one's gone into B, and the rest of them are basically just trying to shoot across the field instead of coming out here and engaging with Deja Vu. And I mean, that's not good news here for Deja Vu. It means that he's going to have to work overtime out here in the field just to make sure he can secure the field and secure a victory. His team are not going to be very helpful. As you can see, they are currently trying to cap A, which they managed to do, and Deja Vu picks up his very first kill. Now, sitting here, he's being very aware, and I mean, you can see he's just waiting for this BDR to sort of push forward, which doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. But Deja also now has a tank destroyer out here in the field with him, and his patience pays off. He manages to get a shot into the side of that BDR, which is great. I mean, his team need all the help they can get at this point. Unfortunately, he does bounce there, didn't swap his shell type, but under the circumstances, he was just snapping off the shot and hoping it would go through, which is fair enough. I mean, the guy was low hit points, his teammates have dealt with him now, he's dead. And Deja can start pressuring this Explorer. I mean, his Nightmare's already over here trying to fight him, which he probably should not have done alone, but that allows Deja to get up here into this position on C, start capping it, and start trying to get some extra damage into this Explorer. Now, that stupid crate in his way is kind of blocking his field of view, so he's missing a lot of shots on the Explorer, and then gets that very unlucky track shot there. But that's okay, because Deja is still full of hit points, manages to take the Explorer down to a one-shot. He's got the Panzer IV Anko, who is chasing him, picks up the kill. Great team support there. Now it's a 3 versus 3. Tanks have just been vanishing very quickly across the board. It's now a 2 versus 3, and these 3 tanks are relatively healthy, like this Triumphant. Unfortunately, Deja does fluff his shot there, but he gets a nice bounce by the Hellcat. And doing the right thing, he is repositioning here to the other side of the field from where the enemy are attacking. And to be honest, his Panzer IV Anko should have come with him, but he doesn't. M6 makes a mistake there, just charging straight over the hill, exposes all the weak spots of the roof of his tank, and allows Deja to get those very, very vital shots into him. Now, this is by far not Deja's best day. He's made quite a few mistakes at this point, but he is circling this M6. He's hoping for a bounce off the gun mantlet, which he gets, and his teammate there in the Anko has realised what's going on, and he's come over here to help Deja, which is completely correct. Now Deja realises that guy's on one shot and hopes the Anko can finish him off, which did not happen at all. Now it's 1 versus 3, Deja against the world. He does manage to clear the M6, gets a very lucky bounce from the Hellcat there, getting shots into him. I mean, he's got a fair bit of work to do. There's still 3.5 minutes left on the clock, and it's 2 versus 1. Now, as you can see, the Hellcat's going for the flank, which was a mistake by the Hellcat. He should have just pushed with the Triumph right into Deja's face. It would have been the correct way to go about it. However, Deja is no fool, so he's going to kill this guy. He's going to get behind this Triumphant, and he's just going to use him as hard cover, basically. Getting a nice max roll into the Hellcat, he's just going to bait some shots out of him here, hopefully, and finish off the match with a great kill. 3,566 damage put out there by Deja, and I mean, his team were not on the good foot for that one. Very spread out, very all over the place, and Deja pulls out a very, very nice carry there for his team. With the help of the Panzer IV Anko. Without him, this match might have gone different. So, kudos to the Panzer IV Anko, and thank you, Deja, for sending in this replay. It was very good. And on to the next one. Our third low-tier mastery. So, this one is driven by myself. I'm in the KV-1S football, and we're on Rockfield. Now, I only just bought this tank back on my Asia account. I don't enjoy it. I haven't enjoyed it. But I was platooned up, so I needed another low tier, tier 6 to play. So I just brought this thing back, and well, this is what happened. And I'm glad I brought it back, because this mastery was much needed. The KV-1S is one of those tanks where if you get a mastery in it, you got to be happy with that mastery, especially because this tank has a massive reload. I mean, it's not as long as it once was. But it is still not the greatest, considering this tank has practically no armor anymore. Its armor is not very effective at all. So we're just going to pull up to this early bush here. We do miss that shot on the Chaffee. He was flying very, very quickly through there. But we're going to get our reload on, and we're going to see what we can hit. As you can see by the minimap, most of my team has come out this way, which is good news. I mean, it means that we're creating a unified front. We do have the TDs who are at the back just creating that cover fire, you know, and it's much needed, especially with those 2 tanks that are now out the back of us there over towards Cap Base A, if you're looking at a supremacy match. Now, don't do what I just done there, guys. I wasn't reloaded, and I pulled back out, and I got punished for it without being able to deal damage in return. So, keep in mind your reload, guys. Don't get yourself shot for no reason like I just did. Now, this guy, he made a silly mistake. It allows me to get a very nice 511 HE roll straight into the side of his turret. Just keeping an eye behind me, make sure that nothing on that hill back there is going to punish me too bad for staying in the spot and not moving. Now this Chaffee, he should have moved a lot sooner, but he doesn't. He allows me to get my reload in, and I clear him out. Now, that's good news for our team. We're now 1 tank up. This KV-3 is shooting me from behind. My teammate is trying to deal with him and just sort of keep him off while I deal with the tanks over here. Now, good clear by my allied teammate there in the 152, and we're just going to wait for a reload and deal with this Comet. Now, I'm glad that my teammate is holding back that KV-3 as much as he is, because, well, that KV-3 was going to hurt me a lot. So my teammate there, Nosmato, just completely saving my bacon by pressuring that KV-3. Now this KV-2, unluckily for him, I do manage to get a nice shot into him before he crosses over. And we're going to ignore the last tank that is on my side of the map, because he's by himself, he's alone, and the rest of my team has moved over to this side of the field. So we're just going to leave that TD behind. We don't need to worry about him. The KV-2 misses his shot by a million miles, don't know what he was thinking. And we're just going to pull up. We out-reload him, we know this. We've got him down to a 1-shot. And we are going to pick up the kill here in just a second, unless my teammates steal it. We're just going to try and block his shell if he does fire at us, which he doesn't get to because my teammate does clear him in time. which is good, because I mean, I was low hit points. If that KV2 had splashed me any shell, I most likely would have died. Now my entire team's over this side of the field. We've got a TD on the other side of the field. I've just pinged the map there to let my teammates know, hey, this is where he is, this is his location, and I'm going to start sort of pulling down. I know he's over here somewhere, I'm not exactly sure where. Now he does spot us though, which is not good. I wasn't firing, I'm half a map away, but we're just going to back up. We're going to let these guys sort of start pushing down, take his attention, reset my camo, and then charge down this hill. And there he is, there's the Dickomax, and he's going to fire a shot at us. We get very, very lucky. He bounces that shot, which is good, because if he didn't bounce that shot, I would be dead right now. And I wouldn't be able to get in this last shot, and I probably would not have got the mastery either. So, pulling around the corner, aiming him up. We don't have much to go at, but we're going to aim right in. We're going to get that nice 500 roll of HE there, bringing us above 3,000 damage for this tier 6 match. Very good work on the entire half of my team. We all worked really well together in that match actually. But I do come away with that nice ace mastery, 3,065 damage, 2 kills, and the team done relatively well considering. So that was our 3rd ace mastery, and on to the 4th match now. Now I have saved this tier 6 match for last because it's my favourite tank in the whole game, the Hellcat, and it is driven once again by the almighty Patu. Now, you guys might know who Patu is just from some of the other videos that I've put up on my YouTube. If you haven't seen them, go back and watch them. They're titled The Almighty Patu, and it's basically a series of aces done by my clanmate Patu here. And I mean, this match could definitely go for a World of Dummies. Not just for Patu's team, but for the enemy team as well. There are just a whole bunch of dummies in this match, but I mean, it's only tier 6. You expect to come across a lot of sort of new players in the game who don't know what they're doing, and a lot of very bot-like gameplay. Now, Patu's pulled up into the standard TD spot. Since he is one of 2 TDs, it's the correct move. He does get a shot into the scav there. Unfortunately, it bounces. And I mean, he's got this T-34 up behind him, just gonna be a pain. Like, you're a medium tank, go be a medium tank. Pull up into the islands, do something useful out there. There are some great spots you can get crossfire into where that scav and the P-43 is. And he finally makes his way out there. Now you can see Patu's light tank is making a move through the water up towards the back of the enemy team here. And while that's happening, Patu is just helping out his teammates here on the top of the hill, trying to deal with the scavenger, which is much needed. I mean, if you don't clear the tanks on the hill, they have a big advantage. And I mean, you can see, there's 4 of the enemy team right there in front of Patu, 5 of them over there, plus the TDs will both be sitting in the back. Of course, they're TDs, it's where they're going to sit. Now, Patu's probably sat here for a little longer than he should have, but he realises, you know, what's going on. His team are dead. He's got no heavies left. He's got 2 mediums that sort of only semi have a clue what they're doing, and another TD who is pretty much doing the same thing Patu is right now, sitting here hoping for shots. And you're going to see this KV2, he's going to realise what's happened. You've got another red tank who's just pushed straight past our allied medium on the flank there, and is pressuring now into Patu's medium tank at the base of the hill. So that Leopard 1, he's about to be punished big time. He's now out of the game. That was a mistake on his part, but he did put in some very necessary damage into the medium tank at the base of the hill. And Patu has stayed very, very patient at this point. He does put a nice shot into the medium tank there. His SU-100Y, however, gets cleared out by the P-43 BIS. It leaves it a 3 versus 5. And in Patu's shoes right now, he is keeping a very, very cool, calm sort of play style going on. He's being very, very patient. Now, I can't say I would have had the same patience. I would have already gassed it out to the islands by this point. But Patu plays the TD game very, very well in this tank. Focusing fire on that Jackson, taking him down to a 1-shot. Hopefully he gets the clear on him here because he needs it, which he does get. I mean, it's a bit of a waste of a max roll, but it was, he needed to clear that tank. At this point, when you are 1 versus 4, you need to kill those low hit point targets. You need to get guns off the field, and that shell went absolutely freaking nowhere. That should have gone into the KV2, but the game mechanics screwed it up. So Patu gets the shot into the KV2. He knows the KV2 is fired. He sees a guy coming up behind him. He does the right thing and he makes a move. He starts running here. Now he's going to snap a shot at that KV2. Unfortunately, he didn't get it. And he's made the right choice. He's pushed for the water here. He gets around the corner. As you can see, both of those traces just missing the back of Patu's Hellcat. And he's not running away. He is not running away. He is still staying and fighting. He's just doing it in the smartest way possible, trying to clear the low target tanks without putting himself in the line of fire. And I mean, kudos to it. That KV2 had to go. That is probably the most dangerous tank in this entire field for a for a Hellcat to deal with. My apologies. Now Patu kept running there, which he's done on purpose. He's reset his camo now and he's able to turn around and go back up the hill, hopefully baiting those tanks out to the cap into the city section. I mean, that's what he needed to do, and it pays off for him. He's able to get back up here into this spot on the hill, which gives him map control, even being a single tank against 3. And I mean, this Leopard, calling him a coward. No, it's 1 versus 3. He's playing smart, Leopard. Learn the game. Not everyone is as silly as you and YOLO charges into the enemy lineup, thinking that God's gift to tanking. And I mean, he's just going to pick apart this Tiger 131 here. He knows that there are tanks on the base cap, so he doesn't have to worry about too much apart from this Tiger at this point. And it works out in his favour. Now, the Tiger's not going to try and shoot him there. He is just going to push up the hill, and Patu uses that to basically get around behind this Tiger 131. And the Tiger finally gets up there, realises what's going on, gets his gun around, and Patu clears him before he manages to get a shot off, which was well needed. Now, those cap points have gone up halfway. Patu's on 3,093 damage. He still has 2 healthy tanks left to deal with. One of them knows what he's up to, and the other one we're not quite sure about. The toaster is somewhere. Unfortunately, Patu does miss that shot, and he takes a nasty one in return. But he's got to play this. He's got to get that reset, which he does. Great job. And I mean, this P43, he knows now. He's trying to find a way to get himself into cover, to try and stay out of the shot range of Patu. But I mean, he only succeeds in putting himself more in the open. He should have been running, he should have been moving a lot sooner if he wanted to deal with Patu. Now, he's going to die here. He's going to die. Patu gets a very nice bounce off the gunman there, clears him, and like I say, World of Dummies match. Now, this toaster was here. He was active, he was doing things, but he obviously thought, my team's got this win, and he's walked away from his computer. And I mean, all the more for it. I mean, there's 35 seconds left on the clock. Patu loads up the HE and just starts plugging away at this Panzer IV. Now, this would have been a very, very unfortunate draw if Patu was too slow to get over here and deal with him, or he wasn't loading the HE rounds. But Patu's a smart man. He gets the kill with 17 seconds left on the clock. I mean, absolutely amazing Hellcat match there. Showed both the use of the Hellcat as a TD and as a medium. 4,559 damage, which is no slouch, with 6 kills. Carried his entire team for this whole match. Thank you for sending this one in, Patu. I thoroughly enjoy my Hellcat matches, whether they're from myself or anybody else. So with that, we end our low tier mastery matches. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed those matches. I hope you learned something from them. Please remember to hit that subscribe button down there. It will help me and it will get us to that next giveaway that I'll be doing. Until next time, stay safe, use cover, cheers.